Content has changed a lot throughout the last 30 years. There's nothing that has been impacted by digitalization as much as content. The format, the amount, the expression, and the whole storytelling. Today we break it down. Alright friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are breaking down the future of content, and this is basically a presentation, a keynote I held internally for my German management team of my marketing company BDX Media, and I think gatekeeping is so 2012, so I think I should give the value to all of you guys. My mantra is give away the secrets and sell the implementation. So here are all the secrets. The first time I heard about content was 1996. I was 4 years old and I heard this quote from Bill Gates: "Content is king." Just kidding. I wasn't aware of what I'm doing at 4 years old, when I was 4 years old, but whatever. This quote is pretty cool, and this is what Bill Gates, the CEO of Microsoft, the founder of Microsoft, said back then. Content is king. Means whatever you put out, it's king. It's amazing, you have to do it because the content is so relevant and people will just consume it. There's a real big demand for content. And to define content here a little bit more specific, it can be photos, it can be videos, it can be a blog post, it can be an audiobook, it can be an ebook, it can be a print, it can be a newspaper. There's so many varieties how content can look like. The bad news is this statement isn't true anymore. Same as this one is. He said, "It's amazing to think what great and exciting things people will doing with PCs in 30 years. Most of you guys watching right now won't even own a PC anymore. They probably have a Mac or just an iPad or do 90% of the stuff as me just on this phone. Let me give you an example. In 2016-15, I did a lot of freelance jobs as a videographer, and one of the major tasks that I also charged to my clients was doing subtitles. So I was interviewing politicians and economic decision makers and all these relevant people. They gave statements, 2 minutes, and we needed subtitles for them. So I wrote them down, everything, handwritten. It took a long time, but we charged also a good amount of money. We charged like 400 bucks just to add subtitles to a video. Now subtitles is a commodity, but it's also super important because 90% of all the people who are watching Instagram stories right now or using Instagram right now are doing it without sound. Subtitles were a big thing. I could charge for it. Nowadays it's a commodity. There's just apps where you can just put it in and it's automatically transcribed. In Adobe Premiere, in the Captions app, and all of these. So there's a lot of change happening and things are getting easier for the editing process. One of our mantras at BDX is we produce content that is relevant, sustainable, and outperforming. What does it mean? Relevant, we want to make sure it's good for the algorithm, people love it, people interact with it, and by sustainable we mean we make it for a long time. Our content should be relevant even in 5 years. So if a company makes an image film with us, or if we do a documentary, you should also be able to watch it in 5 years and still enjoy it. And outperforming, of course, we always want to beat the algorithm. We had a lot of good examples of real outperforming posts, but that's not the only thing you need. Some things that might be a competitive advantage right in the beginning become a commodity later. Give you another example. We were the first ones in Germany and probably also in Europe who are doing all these fast editing, overnight editing, delivery within 4 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours. Now every freelancer who can kind of walk straight can do that. It's not an exceptional thing anymore, it's a commodity. So there's one thing you can do different in terms of content. And that's a thing one of the biggest companies here in Los Angeles was built on. Some people even say it's a law firm that occasionally makes movies. I'm talking about Disney here. And the foundation of their business is IP. What does it mean? I'm obviously not talking about Internet Protocol here or some other IP abbreviation. I am talking about intellectual property, which means if you have a smart idea, if you have a character, if you have a figure, if you have a stringent storyline, that can be your thing that distinguishes yourself from all the others. So for content productions in 2024, we have to face the challenge. We need to change. Forget the fancy edits, forget the fast delivery and all these commodities. It's all about the story. And a content piece and a story is all about bringing value. Are you bringing value to your audience? You can bring value to your audience through one of these categories. First one is inspiration. A good example for inspirational content is always travel content. You see a video of Koh Samui, you see a video of the Great Wall of China, of Australia or wherever. You want to get inspired, you see that, you forward it to somebody else and they're like, hey, I want to go to this place at some point. Second one is educational content. It can be a video like this where I'm telling you all my secrets I know about educational content, and it can be in long form or short form. Either of them can be long form, short form, vertical, horizontal, whatever. But a good example for that is basically the video you're watching right now. I'm giving away all my secrets I know for content strategies here for you. And that's really educational, but you have to be aware of it, and it's not that easy to consume than if you just would watch some meme content and just scroll through your dumb app. Where we come to the third category, and that's entertainment. Entertainment can be a vlog of a famous influencer, entertainment can be a meme video, just some funny stuff, so just something that makes you laugh. And that's also totally okay, you don't have to watch educational content all the time, but it's definitely important that you have to know these different categories: inspiration, education and entertainment. But there was one more thing. A 101 in social media is always hook, content, call to action. But I say the call to action is dead. We need a new approach to that. We all know these statements: comment below, please follow, hit the green button, hit the red button, subscribe to the channel. By the way, please subscribe to the channel. And we are just annoyed from that, right? So here's a different way of thinking. And this guy on Threads, Kisco Pop, found it. So let's break it down right now. The first thing is call to save. Instagram really wants you to save content because it's a way more intense interaction than just liking or commenting a fire emoji or whatever. If you're saving it, it shows the algorithm, it shows the network that it's relevant to you, and then you want to look it up even later. So travel content, the 5 best places in California to visit, the 5 best beaches to surf on. So travel content is predestined for that. Next one is call to emotion. Recently I saw a lot of content that came all the way up with the romantic of the 90s. When we were children, when we were in school, all these old movies, American Pie, all the stuff that came up, New York, Sex and the City, whatever, all that stuff that rings bells in our heads, that brings up all these childhood memories. You see what I'm talking about? That's call to emotion. And if you're thinking of which emotion could I trigger with my content, with the content we're creating, here's a list. Thank me later. And the last and probably the most impactful category is call to think. It's content that is made for thinking. What are my feelings about that? Did it surprise me? Do I like it? Should I share it to my friends? And you see also these 3 categories: call to emotion, call to think and call to save. They all interact with each other, but these are the ones that will make successful content.